Hello and welcome, dear students. Myself, Piraj Majumdar, Assistant Professor of Mechanical Engineering Department, Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management under JIS Group. I welcome you to my official YouTube channel, that is Mech Pro Classes. You can see over here. You can contact me for any query to my personal contact number at 94334 or if you wish you can also email me to my email id at pirajsir@gmail.com. You can also connect me through Facebook. My official Facebook page is Mech Pro Classes. Now we are continuing the manufacturing processes. So I would like to let you know that I have already uploaded some of the videos of manufacturing processes as well. Now if you want to have a daily updates as well as for future updates also, you can visit my YouTube page and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now for ready reference, I will give you a PDF of my PPT where you will find this YouTube icon along with the YouTube logo of my official YouTube channel. By clicking on the YouTube icon on the PDF, just like that, you can directly visit my YouTube channel. So this icon, you can click on this icon, this one. So here you can see this is my official YouTube channel, Mech Pro Classes. Here you can see. So here you will get all the updates regarding my uploading of different subjects in mechanical engineering. So you can just subscribe onto it and will get daily updates. Okay. Now similarly, you can also visit directly to my official Facebook page and connect with me by just clicking on this Facebook icon, just like that. So you can see this is the Mech Pro Classes official Facebook page. So you can also connect me through Facebook by liking this official page of Mech Pro Classes. Okay. So let us now continue our classes on manufacturing processes. We have completed first two modules of the manufacturing processes subject. As you can see over here, the casting molding, that is the module 1. And in the next module, we have completed bulk and sheet metal forming processes. Now we will move on to module 3, that is the machining portion, where we will learn different machining systems, the geometries, as well as the tool wear, the tool life, and introduction to CNC machining also. So here, if I consider the module 3, we have got single and multi-point machining, orthogonal machining, cutting tool geometry of SPTT, that is single point turning tool, milling cutter drill, conversion of rake and clearance angles within ASA and ISO systems, various force components, chip formation, tool wear and tool life, surface finish and integrity, machinability, cutting tool materials, cutting fluids, coating, turning, drilling, milling and finishing processes, and then introduction to CNC machining. So we will try to learn today the single and multi-point machining as well as a touch of basics of the machining process. So let us begin today's class. So coming to the metal cutting process, you already might have heard and you have already know the various importance of metal cutting. So in short, I can say that the importance of machining processes can be emphasized by the fact that every product we use in our day-to-day life has used this process either directly or indirectly. Okay. So you can guess that metal cutting is an inevitable process through which we are getting final and finished as well as desired product that we generally use in our every sphere of our life. Now coming to the metal cutting, Metal cutting or machining operation is to produce a desired shape, size and finish of a component by removing excess material in the form of chips. Now, chips is a very important thing. We will learn a lot about the chips that are being produced out of this metal cutting process, and we will learn the different types of chips that are coming out during the machining of ductile as well as brittle materials in our later classes. Now, you just need to know that chips may constitute more than 50% of the initial workpiece. Now, machining processes are performed on metal cutting machines using various types of cutting tools. Metal cutting process in general should be carried out at very high speeds and feeds with least cutting effort at minimum cost. Now, here are some pictures that are generally depicting the cutting process. So, here you can see it is a tool that are being performed on this particular job to cut, or during turning operation we are generally reducing the diameter. So, here you can see the depth of cut. So, here is also another diagram where there is a tool as well as the job piece. Now, in this diagram you will find the chips are coming out of this particular job piece when the tool is being performing the different cutting operation on this particular job piece. So, the factors mainly affecting metal cutting are the properties of work material, whether you are using a ferrous material or a non-ferrous material, whether it is a ductile or a brittle material. So, the different factors affecting the metal cutting are the properties of the material. Next is your properties and geometry of cutting tool as well. So, what type of cutting tool you are generally using while machining? So, it may be of high speed steel, it may be of ceramic, or it can be of stellite, tungsten carbide. So, there are varieties of cutting tool we generally use in our daily life during workshop for different cutting operations, and they generally different material cutting tool material gives you different results. Okay, so the cutting tool material along with the feed, the depth of cut, all the velocity of the cutting tool, all affects the metal cutting as well. Okay, next is your interaction between tool and work. Okay, now one more thing I would like to add over here, the use of coolants as well also affects the metal cutting. Okay, so gradually we will learn about the lubricants that are being used during metal cutting operation. Okay, now let us discuss some types of chips. Okay, look, this type of chips are very important, and the types of chips are widely classified as continuous chip without built up edge or simply continuous chip. Then is your continuous chip with built up edge. Next is your serrated chip and discontinuous chip, but we mainly will be reading the continuous chip, then continuous chip with built up edge, and then discontinuous chip only. Okay, now coming to the during machining, it is very obvious that chips will be formed, as because you already know chip is the main thing that we are dealing with in the metal cutting, that is the removal of material. So, when you are sharpening a pencil out of the pencil sharpener, the different this metal, these are not the metals, actually these are the woods, cutting woods in the form of chips coming out of this particular pencils. Similarly, when you are machining a metal, the chips are coming out of this particular metal cutting process. So, chip formation is very inevitable in any machining operation. So, we will learn the chip formation. It is a more realistic view of chip formation, showing shear zone rather than the shear plane. Also shown in is the secondary shear zone resulting from tool chip friction. Now here we will discuss the diagram as well. Here you can see this is the tool, and this is the your workpiece. Now this is the primary shear zone. This one is the primary shear zone where from the chip is coming out of this particular machining operation. And here you will find this is the shear zone. This is also secondary shear zone. Okay, so you need to remember that this surface above the workpiece and with the connection of this particular tool is the primary shear zone, and the interface between the tool and the chip is the secondary shear zone. Okay, now metal cutting process is a very complex process, and the metal in front of the this tool rake face gets immediately compressed first elastically and then plastically. So you need to remember two things. So first, the metal in front of the tool rake surface, this one tool rake surface is compressed elastically and then plastically. So you can take a note, these are going to be very important. So the metal in front of the tool face gets immediately compressed first elastically and then plastically, and this zone is traditionally called as shear zone in view of the fact that the material in the final form would be removed by shear from the parent metal. The actual separation of the metal starts from the cutting tool tip as yielding or fracture depending upon the cutting conditions. Then the deformed metal called chip, this chip is actually this one is the deformed material, this chip. Okay, so what happens, the actual separation of the metal starts from the cutting tool tip, this one, and as yielding or fracture. So here you can say as yielding or fracture. Okay, and depending upon the cutting conditions, obvious. Next, the deformed metal, that is the chip, as I earlier told you, flows over the tool rake face. This one is the tool rake face, this one. Okay, if the friction between the tool rake face and the underside of the chip, this one, is considerable, then the chip gets further deformed. This is the deformation, which is termed secondary deformation. Next, the chip, after sliding over the tool rake face, would be lifted away from the tool, and the resultant curvature of the chip is called as chip curl. So it is known as chip curl. Okay, so this is basically the reason behind the, or you can say the mechanism behind the chip formation. Okay, now one more thing I would like to add, that is the plastic deformation can be caused by yielding, in which ease strained layers of material would get displaced over other layers along the slip planes, this one, and which coincide with the direction of maximum shear stress. Now there was a scientist, Pispen. So I will write Pispen. So Pispen presented a very interesting mechanism to account for the deformation process taking place at the cutting edge. He considers the undeformed metal as stack of cuts, like you can say as this one. Say if it somewhat like this one, so it is connected. So if I again show you, say this one, this one, this one, and your material is such somewhat this one. So the tool is being acted here like this, and the chips are coming out of as a stack. Okay, so he considers the undeformed metal as a stack. So these are the stacks. Okay, these are the stacks coming out of the particular this material, and the tool, this is the tool, this is being acted over this particular region, and the chips are coming out as a stack of the metal. So you can see, so Pittspan gives this interesting mechanism behind the chip formation. As you can see over here, he considers the undeformed metal as a stack of cards which would slide over one another as a wedge shape. So this is your wedge shape tools move under these cards. So this look like cards somewhat. Okay. Now, though this idea is an oversimplified one, it would generally account a number of features that are found to be in practice. Simple example you can consider is when paraffin, when paraffin is cut, blockwise slip is clearly evident, like this one. Okay. So the chip in actual manufacturing practice is variable both in size and shape as well. A study of chip is one of the most important things in metal cutting. So gradually, as would be seen later, the mechanics of metal cutting are generally dependent on the shape and size of the chips produced. Okay, so let us now move to the different types of chips, as I earlier told you. So these are the main classifications that we are going to learn for this particular module. They are generally being widely used: this continuous, discontinuous, and continuous chip with built-up edge. So you can see over here a small diagram is given over here to understand the continuous chip. So you can see continuous chip is it is not discontinuous like this one. Okay, so it is having a uniform wide length. Okay, and it is not segmented like this discontinuous chips. And in case of continuous chip with built-up edge, so you can find over here, if this is the tool, this red one is the tool, and this black one is a built-up edge. Okay, so we will learn these types of chips one by one. Now again, coming to the chip formation, as I earlier told you, there is also another example I have chosen for you for the better understanding of the formation of chip. So here you can see, here is a picture of typical shaping machine you will find in your workshops. So here the work is being placed over here. Here we are having the tool. Here you can find the tool head given over here. Now this is the speed, and the feed is given over this one. This one is the feed, and this is the work table. You can see this is the base, this is the cross rail, this is the column. This is a typical shaping machine you would find generally in your workshops. Okay. Now coming to this example, here what it says, actually the figure represents the shaping operation where the workpiece remains stationary and the tool advances into the workpiece towards left. This is the direction of the moving. This one is the direction. So this is the forward direction. While forward direction, the chips are coming out in reverse direction, that is the backward direction, no cutting takes place. Okay, so quick return mechanisms comes into this particular shaping operation. Now thus the metal gets compressed, and what happens, the metal gets compressed very severely, causing shear stress. Okay, this stress is maximum along the plane known as shear plane. And if the material of the workpiece is ductile, the material flows plastically along the shear plane, forming the chip which flows upwards along the face of the tool as well. Next is your chip formation. Let us discuss about the continuous chip with built-up edge. That is when we are having some edges during the chip formation, that is known as the continuous chip with built-up edge. So when actually what happens, what are the reasons behind the continuous chip with built-up edge is when friction between the tool, between the tool and the chip is high while machining ductile materials, some particles of chip adhere to the tool rake face. So say this one. So say here some of the materials gets adhered to this particular tool. Okay, so near the tool tip, actually not here and not so much far away from the tool tip. Actually it adheres to the tool tip only. This here you can see. So due to this adherence, this is actually the built up edge actually. Okay, so when such this sizable material, let me show you this sizable materials actually. So this sizable materials piles up on the rake face. It acts as a cutting edge in place of actual cutting edge. Okay, now this is known as built up edge, BUE, that is the built up edge. Okay. Now by virtue of work hardening, as I earlier told you, work hardening, the concept of work hardening I already discussed in metal forming processes. Built up edge is harder and than the parent material. Okay, as the size of the built up edge grows larger, it becomes unstable and parts of it get removed while cutting. The removed portions of built up edge partly adhere to the chip underside and partly to the machined surface here. Okay. Now what happens, this causes finished surface to be very rough. Okay, and however the since the cutting is being carried out by the built up edge and not the actual tool tip, the life of cutting tool increases. So that is the advantage, only advantage of having built up edge, that is the life of the tool is being enhanced, as because the material is being cut by the built up edge, or the materials adhere to the tool tip and not by the tool tip itself. So that causes the increase in the tool life. So that is the only advantage of continuous chip with built up edge. Okay, and by that way, built up edge is not harmful while rough machining. So you must keep in mind, if you are having a rough machining, then it is very useful for greater life of the tool. Okay, now the conditions that normally induces this formation of built up edge are low cutting, so I must write you, that is the conditions are mainly low cutting speed, high feed, next is your high feed, and low rake angle. So you must take this notes very seriously. So next is your low rake. So you can take a note somewhere, low rake angle. So 3 points is very important. First is your low cutting speed, second is your high feed, and the next one is your low rake angle. Okay, so these are the main what I say, the factors that induces the formation of built up edge. Okay, now one of the prerequisites for the formation of built up edge is the work hardenability of the workpiece material. Higher the work hardenability, rougher is the machine surface produced. Okay, now here you can also see generally ductile materials are having this particular type of chip formation, that is the continuous chip with built up edge. Too low rake angle, as I earlier discussed with you, and then lack of cutting fluid is also one of the factor. Then feed rate, high feed rate, so you can mark it over here as high. Okay, so high feed rate. Now tool life is not as such affected, as because the life is being enhanced, as because the materials are becoming adhering to the tool tip, that's why it is protecting the life of the tool. Next we are having continuous chip. That is the most common type of chip that is being produced in a workshop or while machining in a workshop. Okay, so generally ductile materials are producing this continuous chip while metal cutting. So continuous chips are normally produced when machining steel or ductile metals at high cutting speeds. That is very important, you must take a note, high cutting speeds. Okay, and ductile materials. two most important things you must keep in mind. The continuous chip, which is like a ribbon. So it is a continuous chip, and the length is also very lengthy, large, you can say. So this continuous chip is like a ribbon, and it flows along the rake face. This is the rake face. This is the rake face, okay, of the tool. So it flows along the rake face, okay. And a continuous chip is possible because of the ductility of metal, that is you can say steel at high temperature generated due to cutting, flows along the shear plane, instead of rupture, okay. And it can be assumed that each layer of metal flows along the slip plane till it is topped by work hardening. Each of these layers get welded to the previous ones because of the high temperature, thus forming a continuous chip. So you can guess how the continuous chip is formed. Some ideal conditions that I earlier mentioned you, that metal cutting are having a sharp cutting edge, a small chip thickness, that is a fine feed, you can say, and large rake angle. So large rake angle, you can also have a note over here. So large rake angle, and there are also some other thing also. High cutting speed, as I earlier told you. You can also take a note that ductile materials I also mentioned you. So these are the main things. And less friction, you can also take a note. For less friction is also a factor helping the production of the continuous chip, you can say over here, okay. So these are the main things, so you must keep in mind. Ductile materials, high cutting speeds, small feeds or fine feeds, you can say, and sharp cutting edge, low tool chip friction, and also high rake angle. It should be keep in mind. High rake angle is one of the most important factor while producing the continuous chip in machining of steel or ductile. So this is the most desirable form of chip, since the surface finish obtained is very good in this particular continuous chip, and cutting is also very smooth, okay. So it also helps in having a higher tool life and lower power consumption. So it is very important, that is, we are having a higher tool life and lower power consumption. However, because of the large coil of the chips, chip disposal is a problem, you can say, okay. Now, to help in this direction, various forms of chip breakers, have been developed, which are in the form of step or groove in the tool rake face, okay. Now, the chip breakers allow the chips to be broken into small pieces so that they can easily be disposed of, okay. So here I have sorted out what I have told earlier, that continuous chip usually form under the following conditions: small chip thickness, fine feed, small cutting edge, large rake angle, high cutting speed, ductile materials, less friction between a chip tool interface through efficient lubrication. So lubrication is also very important. You must keep in mind that large rake angle, it is very important, okay, and high cutting speed as well, okay. Now coming to the discontinuous chip. So discontinuous chip consists of segments that may be firmly or loosely attached to each other, okay. These chips occur when machining hard brittle materials such as cast iron. So this is very important. Brittle materials produces the discontinuous chip. Now brittle failure takes place along the shear plane before any tangible plastic flow occurs, and discontinuous chip form in brittle materials at low rake angles. So this is also very important. Low rake angles. Previously, continuous chip was due to high rake angle, high speed, but reversely, or in contrast, you can say discontinuous chips are produced out of brittle materials at low rake angles, and also you can say at low speed, low feed, you can say, okay. So here you will find the discontinuous chips. These are the discontinuous chips. This is a tool you can find. The chips are coming out in a small pieces, that is segmented, you can say, okay. Now conditions which are responsible for the formation of discontinuous chips are low feed rate, small rake angle of the tool, high cutting speed, high friction forces of the chip tool interface, too much depth of cut. So depth of cut, when you are giving a maximum depth of cut, you are getting a this discontinuous chip. Sometimes the high cutting speed also gives you discontinuous chip, and small rectangle is very, very important, you must keep in mind, and high friction also. So these are the conditions for formation of discontinuous chip. Now the advantages of formation of discontinuous chips in brittle materials provides good surface finish, increases the tool life, and reduces the consumption of power. And the disadvantages are when the discontinuous chips are formed in the ductile materials, the workpiece results in poor surface finish and excessive wear and tear of the tool takes place. So next we have the continuous chip with built-up edge. In machining ductile materials, again we are coming to the ductile materials similar to that of the continuous chip, like steels with long chip tool contact length. So this is the chip tool contact length, and lot of stress temperature develops in the secondary deformation zone at the chip tool interface. Under such high stress and temperature in between two clean surface of metals, strong bonding may locally take place due to adhesion similar to welding. In ductile materials with lower cutting speeds is a factor that is enhancing the continuous chips with built-up edge formation. Now small particles of cut chip adheres under the action of pressure and temperature to the face of the tool, as I earlier told you. These are the built-up edge. So you can find it over the swelling portions are the formation of the built-up edge. So that is all for today's class. I hope you have enjoyed today's class. Thank you for watching.